Good afternoon. Hope you're having a great week. It is Monday, May 18th, 12:53 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Local time here in Addis, Louisiana. I'm at the Tokai carbon plant, refinery, or whatever the hell it is. And I am finally leaving. Been here since yesterday at around 9:30 p.m. and the trailer was just ready a few minutes ago. We'll talk more about that as we roll on. So basically everything the agent has told me has been wrong.
Turn right onto Sid Richardson Road.
Up to this point. So I was told I was coming down here to pick up a load going back to oh shit. Oh, that was close. I was really close to those yellow bars. Is there somebody else in the truck? Is that a team? Because I just saw the brake lights come on. Oh, he might have one of those trucks that goes through the inspection routine. I don't know why he's inspecting it out here on the road. Alright, I don't think there's any more cars pulling out in front of me. I don't know why he didn't inspect it in the parking lot. So, I think he got my trailer and I got his trailer. I wish I'd been able to keep my trailer. But his trailer passed inspection as well, so we're good. But anyway, yeah, the agent told me that TSD told him that I would come down here, pick up a load, and I would take it right back to Morrison, Tennessee, where I just came from, where I delivered the last load. And this morning, TSD messaged me and said that I was picking up a load going to Mount Vernon, Illinois. And then I had to sit around and wait for them to reload the trailer, which is something the agent told me would be extremely rare. He said that it would be very rare for me to have to sit around and wait on a trailer or get live loaded or live unloaded. And almost every load that I've done, I've had to wait on a trailer or get live loaded, live unloaded. What in the hell is going on with the pickup in front of me? It looked like it, oh no, the lane, the road shifted over to the left. I was like, looked like he got over in the left lane. Just started driving in the left lane. Nope, the road turns. So I've been awake since 6 a.m. It's now 1 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to be able to drive all the way to Mount Vernon. It's, I forget the exact mileage. What in the shit? Trucks, no left turn? Where am I supposed to go?
At the next stop sign, turn left.
I just have to go some random direction to the right? And look for a U-turn? Oh my God, that is a rough railroad track. So these assholes don't want trucks blocking the roadway.
In 1,000 feet, make a U-turn at Chenago Road.
So they're forcing trucks to come down here and do a fucking U-turn. That's a lot safer. You know, it's illegal for most trucks to do a damn U-turn.
Make a U-turn at Chenago Road.
Well, let's see how this shit goes. Okay, that car moved. That's good. That gives me more room. God, this is ridiculous.
Continue on Louisiana 1 North for 8 miles.
That this stupid little town makes you do this. I wonder if I'd have gotten pulled over if I would have made that left, because there was a cop in front of me that made that U-turn with me, and then there's another cop that just passed. Is this one of their little citation traps? Stupid rules. Make the town a little bit more money. All right, I am worn out and sweating profusely because I just had to jack a max weight trailer down. It was like 3 inches too high, which is a lot better than jacking one up. But yeah, I was sitting there in low gear. Low gear on these landing gears is really slow. So it took me 10 minutes to lower the landing gear about 3 inches. And the landing gear is about worn out. It would hardly turn. So that was a lot of fun. I'm pretty worn out and I'm in a bad mood right now, so I apologize if I come across as really negative at the moment. Give me time. I'll stop sweating and I'll calm down a little bit. I'm just a little bit ticked off about several things. You know, sitting around waiting so long. You know, I'm paid by the mile. I don't get paid to do loading or unloading or wait for trailers or any of that shit. So that's just me sitting around not getting paid, burning fuel, idling the truck. And then I found out that the agent was not putting the correct fuel surcharge on any of the loads. He was underpaying me on fuel surcharge on all the loads because he was just putting like random information in fuel surcharge. And I thought that was suspicious, where the fuel surcharge was like an even number. Like he was putting fuel surcharges $500, $300, $200, you know, stuff like that. I was like, that doesn't sound like it's getting paid by the mile. It sounds like he's just throwing some damn money up there. Random shit. And I wasn't saying anything about it because it looked like, according to my numbers, I was getting a little overpaid. But then on this load, I was getting underpaid by a couple $100. Or it's like $120 I was underpaid on this load. So I called him and I was like, yeah, these numbers aren't jiving. I'm coming out that I'm making $2.29 a mile based on short mileage. Like, he didn't have accurate mileage on the rate con, so I didn't even know what mileage he was using to calculate by. But based on Google's shortest routes, it was still coming up, you know, short on the rate per mile. And I was driving further than Google's shortest routes. So I asked him, like, who's coming up with the mileage on this? And he said TSD was. And he told me what the mileage was according to TSD, and it was actually more than I was driving. I was like, well, then it's way off. Because with higher mileage, this rate per mile is going to be even lower. You better not turn yellow on me. All right, I'm past the point of no return. I'm max weight, 80,000 pounds. I'm not going to be slamming on my brakes for a light. Five miles until I get on the interstate. And then the interstate's going to be worse than this because it's real windy, narrow lanes for like 5 miles. So I hit him up and told him that, and he was like, oh, I forgot to update the fuel surcharge with the actual fuel surcharge. I just put a dummy amount in there to generate your freight bill, and I forgot to update it. So he gave me the updated fuel surcharge, which was $81 more, which whenever you factor in the 70%, that's where it comes to that like $120 I was short on the full rate, because I get 100% of the fuel surcharge. And then that got me thinking, like, all of my freight bills have had rounded, like, just flat fuel surcharge. So I started going and crunching the numbers on everything, and I was like, yeah, this isn't adding up to, like, even with short mileage, it's coming up to like 64 cents per mile, and it's supposed to be 70 cents per mile. So I told him that I think he was wrong with just a second here. Oh shit, it turned green. Where? Oh, that was. I was like, who the hell is honking? Is the rail Addis, Louisiana, comma, drop loaded 12409, comma, pick up, shit. Empty 12409, comma, pick up loaded 12352. Misspelled some shit, but like Addis is misspelled wrong, but they'll get the gist. I was just thinking of why that other driver, this person's hauling a TSD trailer. That was a volume truck. Did they grab the wrong damn trailer? There was a woman that parked next to me in a volume truck. Went in and got her paperwork. She was in and out really quick. She didn't have to sit there and wait like the rest of us. and the truck in front of me has a TSD trailer. There was the only TSD drivers were me and then that guy behind me that was doing the pre-trip. Did he make the left-hand turn? Is that him? Did he get in front of me because he made the left-hand turn that was illegal right there? I bet that's what it is. So yeah, I sent him an email and I said, yeah, I think the fuel surcharge has been wrong on every load. Could you check it out? Yep, that's him. That's trailer 12409. That's the trailer that I dropped last night. That's the trailer he picked up. So he made the illegal left. And he went back and checked all the loads. One load was correct. It did not have like a flat generic number on it. And the other load was incorrect. And it was short by over $100 in fuel surcharge. He paid me $500, and the actual fuel surcharge was like, I don't know, $600 and something, $604, $606. I can't remember the exact number. So that one was short like $104 in fuel surcharge, which I get 100% of. And then this load was short $81 in fuel surcharge. So got that corrected. Now I have a couple $100 more. Son of a bitch. All right, luckily, this almost the entire drive is interstates. It's not highways like I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of highway driving on these loads. And highway driving with stoplights with max weight it sucks. It really, really sucks. .2 miles until I get onto I-10. So I have, well, when I checked this morning, I had 30 hours left on my 70-hour clock. And I was thinking, well, I can make it from here to Mount Vernon, and then I can make it back down to Addis, and then I can make it like halfway to somewhere. Or if I'm really like efficient with my time, maybe I might be able to make it. No, I don't think it's possible. So I would be able to make it back down to here, and I would have maybe, yeah, just pull out in front of the damn semi. You gonna do it too? Yeah, I can stop on a dime. Just pull right out in front of me. For I-10 eastbound, stay in the right lane, exit 3/4 of a mile. Ah. Great. This pickup that pulled out in front of me is overloaded.
In half a mile, use the right lane to take the ramp to I-10 East.
Yeah, let's turn the radio down a little bit, Google. That's really loud. Just going over big ass bridges. All right, this is a construction exit that's really sharp. So let's slow down.
Use the right lane to take the ramp to I-10 East.
A temporary little construction exit.
Continue on I-10 East for 6 miles.
Alright. Nobody coming from the right. Ugh. Going up a really steep grade. And we got like 2 merges to do. Alright, it doesn't look like there's any more vehicles coming. So right here's merge number 1. Now we got this big ass bridge. I got to be really careful about this right lane because they have a tendency on bridges like this to have the right lane exit only once you get to the other side of the bridge. 30 miles an hour going up this steep ass grade. All right, looks like the left lane is going exit only. And it's saying to get in the center lane for I-10 and I-12. But I've got too many cars passing me in the center lane. I'll try to get over in the center lane when I can. Actually, no, we have a new sign that says the 2 right lanes are 10 and 12. Don't you just love signage on the roads? It's like, let's just throw some shit up. Just throw a whole bunch of signs up that don't mean shit. They'll figure it out. Right lane ends in 3/4 of a mile. Yeah, that signal means I'm trying to get out of this lane, everybody. Yeah, just pass in that ending lane. Sorry I was in your way. I'm just, an NPC in your world. Everybody's pissed off that I got over in this lane, so they're passing me on the right. It's like, yeah, it takes a while to do a lane change. I can't wait till the last minute to do a lane change like you jackasses. Just be out in the far left lane when my exit comes up, jump across 4 lanes for the exit. I know that's the 4-wheeler way, but that's not how I roll. All right, I have an opportunity to get in the center lane, and I'm going to take it. I do not want to be in that right lane dealing with merged traffic. with a max weight load, constantly getting brake checked. So yeah, this is pretty much what it's like to be an owner-operator. For those of you that want to do it, you're not doing it yet. Not only do you have to deal with all the driving stuff, you also have to deal with the scheduling. You have to deal with the payment from the broker and sometimes from the customer. So I have like multiple people I have to keep in check and also communicate with. Make sure that they are paying me correctly. And to make sure all the information, everything is correct. This dumbass super truck over here passed on the right is going to cut me off. There he goes. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, I'm going as fast as the cars in front of me, but you just have to pass me on the right and get in between me and the cars in front of me. Like a dumbass. That is the reason people tailgate, is because of dumbasses like this. They don't want to leave enough room for fucking idiots to weave through traffic. Sorry for the language. Just like really in a bad mood right now. All right, I think these two left lanes are getting onto Interstate 12. Looks like the 3 left lanes are Interstate 12. The lane to my right can go either I-10 or I-12.
In half a mile, keep left to continue on I-12 East. Follow signs for Hammond.
Cars passing me saw the cop. They all slammed on their brakes, swerving all over the road. This four-wheeler next to me almost hit me. You got warrants?
Continue on I-12 East for 38 miles.
That little maroon Jeep.
There are police reported ahead.
There's another cop. Oh, great. I hate getting near cops because people start acting like they've all got warrants. They all start moving over to the right, taking exits, slamming on their brakes, slowing down. You notice how everybody just keeps piling in front of me? Like every time I build up a little bit of distance, more vehicles pile in front of me, and I have to build up a little bit more distance, and then more people pile in front of me, and I just keep doing that over and over. That is the reason people tailgate. It is really difficult to drive safe out here and have a safe following distance. because there's so many dumbasses out on the road. Traffic should get lighter and lighter as we go further. Once we get on to, was it 57 or 59? I think it's 57 that I'm getting on to. Once I get on to 57, traffic should be pretty good. You know what? I forgot to reset the fuel data. Let's do that right now. The other TSD that was in front of me is going to the same place. I could tell by the sign-in sheet. You have to put in your destination. And if I would have known the system, how things went there, then I would have gotten my trailer back. Because they gave him my trailer because he got signed in before me, but I was actually there before him. He got there at 11 p.m. last night. I got there at 9:30. But I'm not worried about it because this trailer passed inspection. That's the main reason I try to get the same trailer back. It's because you're rolling the dice every time you swap trailers, whether or not you're going to have to go in the shop. Yeah, I'm catching up with that trailer. I don't know why you'd move over like that. Speed limit just went up from 60 to 65. That motorcycle keeps eyeballing the right. There he goes. Must be a popular exit coming up. I'm about to pass this Premier. We're doing 59 right now, and I'm catching up with this rental trailer. All right, we're going for the pass. I think that Premier, or whoever's hauling this Premier, doesn't realize that the speed limit went up. Oh, now they're changing lanes. I don't think they saw the speed limit went from 60 to 65 because they're still doing around 60. HB Phillips Incorporated out of Memphis, Tennessee. This is pretty flat land. Let's see what the fuel mileage is. You know what? It'll work a lot better if I set the cruise. Stay in that damn right lane. Don't you dare. I have a feeling these two want to move over in front of me. All right, we got the cruise set at 65. Now let's check and see what the fuel data says. Ooh, somebody smoked it out. Is there a fire or just some asshole with their exhaust set to blow black smoke? I don't know. I don't see the source of the black smoke. These two AT&T trucks are about to cut me off. The front one is just tailgating the shit out of that van. I got you jammed in now. Can't do it now. This looks like flat land, but it's not. We keep going up and down. Getting like 10 miles a gallon right now. We're going slightly downhill. 11 miles a gallon with an 80,000 pound truck. Yeah, that's not how things work. Now we're going uphill. We're getting 4.5 miles per gallon. Now it's kind of flattened out on a bridge. Now we're going downhill. We're back up to 11 miles per gallon. Even the bridges aren't flat. It is really hard to find like a couple of miles of flat road. We're at 21 miles a gallon, coasting down the hill. Got 29 miles until I get onto 55 north. I was wrong on both accounts. I thought it was either the 57 or the 59. It is neither. It is the 55. Getting on Interstate 55 north. All right, the van that was slowing down AT&T is off the road. Now let's see what they do. Son of a biscuit. They moved over for a truck on the shoulder, but that truck is like halfway on the grass. I wouldn't have moved over for that. Oh, speed limit just went up to 70. So, in the last driving video, I was doing some math in my head. About the difference between... All right, I see a lot of black smoke coming out of that. That's where that black smoke's coming from. Right in front of that blue car, that whatever kind of vehicle that is. Is that a tow truck? Or is that a pickup pulling a trailer? I don't know, but that's where that black smoke is coming from. that should be extremely illegal. And it probably is. Because vehicles that put out clouds of black smoke like that. Just a second here, I gotta watch out for this AT&T. There's a car on the shoulder. And they cut off a car last time to move over to the left. It's an abandoned vehicle. It's got an orange sticker on it. But these vehicles that put out that pitch black smoke like that, there's a lot of negative things about it. One, it's blinding. Like, it can make it to where you can't see anything. And two, like, nobody wants to breathe that shit in. Oh, shit. Some SUV just pulled off of the shoulder. In front of vehicles. It's not very smart. All right, we don't have many on or off ramps. So I'm going to go ahead and move over into the right lane.
There are police reported.
I'm about to get back in the center lane. Cars are just stacking up in front of me, getting ready for an exit. It's these long trains of cars exiting. So the plan for today is to top off fuel at the the TA Petro in West Memphis, Arkansas, and grab a shower while I'm going through there. So I'll take my 30 and take a shower. And then continue on and make the delivery if I can stay awake that long. They have me just sitting there half the day waiting on the load, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay awake that long. I'll have enough driving hours to do it. What in the shit is on the shoulder? Looks like whatever it is, it's leaning really hard to the left. Looks like a rental box truck with probably some blown tires, and it's setting down on the rim on the left side. Oh my goodness. The rim was gone. It was just sitting down on the axle. You can see the brake pads and stuff. I wonder what the story is behind that. Did they take the entire tire off to take it to like a tire shop to get it repaired, and the thing fell off the jack stand? Who knows? No trucks on this exit. Why are trucks not allowed on that exit? Looks like an easy on, easy off. Nice big shoulders on the on and off ramp. Got somebody else on the shoulder. I don't have time to move over. They're pretty far over and they're on the right side of the car. Yeah, deliver this load and then pick up an empty. Take my 10-hour break. And hopefully they'll have a load for me by the time my 10-hour break is up. I'm not going to be ready to drive again until like 10 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm not going to worry about asking them for a load right now. They'll be able to figure out tomorrow morning before my hours are up, because I'm not going to get to the delivery location until midnight, 1 a.m. Actually, it's going to be closer to like 2 a.m. because I'm going to stop and take a shower. So whenever I deliver the load, I'll send a text message to Caitlin, and I told Tony that Natalia was sending me text messages, and he didn't know that. And I said, okay, I'll just start sending emails and copying both of you, so I don't have to send, messages to 3 different people or 3 different messages. I can just send 2 messages, and the email I can have, you and Natalia both on the email. Come on, 4-wheelers. There's a super trucker out here doing 75 and a 70 that's mad because I got over in the left lane in front of him. So you got the person to the right of me is doing 65, I'm doing 70, and the guy behind me is doing 75. Well, he was doing 75 until I pulled out in front of him. He's one of them drivers that just runs at his governor, regardless of what the speed limit is. Moved over about 200 feet in front of the truck. I don't give a shit if somebody's tailgating me. I'm not going to cut somebody off. You can try to intimidate me all you want. It's not going to work. A and B transport out of somewhere in Louisiana. It looked like Sulphur, Louisiana. TMItanker.com. That must be a rental company or something. I see TMI on a lot of tankers with various companies. Or maybe all these companies are contracted to TMI or something. Who knows? I don't. Nine miles until we get on Interstate 55. Traffic should get a lot nicer once I get onto 55. I have not seen that other TSD truck, so either it's moving at 70 or it took like highways and state roads. It was almost the exact same distance to take, state roads, cutting across between. Got somebody on the shoulder. Cutting across between I-12 and I-55. Driving through a whole bunch of small towns on some shoulderless roads. It might have saved maybe a couple of miles, maybe 5 miles, maybe even 10 miles, but I don't see the point in that. You're going to use a lot more fuel stopping and going, and it's going to take longer, so there's really no benefit to doing it. This four-wheeler catching up with it fast. 5.5 miles until my exit. It's a right lane exit for Interstate 55. All right, the four-wheeler sped up. Got a four-wheeler sitting behind me just pacing me. And then I don't have anybody behind me for a couple thousand feet. Oh my goodness. If I get out in the left lane to pass, then I have to pass a line of vehicles. There's a very long line of vehicles that are all nut to butt in front of me. So if I get out to pass, then when my exit comes up, I'm going to have to force my way back over. So I'm just going to have to slow down and sit in this line of vehicles. We're doing 60 miles an hour. Everybody just slowed down. Probably because there's a truck up at the front that saw the weigh station sign, and for some reason we have trucks that slow down way below the speed limit whenever they see a weigh station. So we just dropped from 70 to 60. And now traffic is flying up on me because I'm going so slow. There's a massive pack of cars about 1,000 feet behind me. 3 miles till my exit. Weigh station closed. So that pack of vehicles, they're all passing me right now. We're still doing 60 miles an hour.
In 2 miles, take exit 38B for I-55 north toward Jackson.
What is this vehicle over in the left lane doing? They slowed way down. Now they're speeding back up. Oh my goodness, these vehicles are going so damn slow. Maybe I should have passed. I don't know. I didn't want to get into that position where I'm having to force my way back over. Just 4 miles. And this damn four-wheeler just keeps slowing down. We're down to 57 miles an hour.
In half a mile, take exit 38B for I-55 north toward Jackson.
All right, it's a really sharp turn. It's like a 20-mile-per-hour turn.
Take exit 38B.
And right where I merge on, there's a hot shot hauling cars on the shoulder. Speed limit 45? What? Alright, the car hauler is walking back to his truck right now. Damn it, damn it, damn it. This is dangerous. Watch out for me, bro. These cars are not going 45. All right, that sign says speed limit 70. We're slowly getting up to speed. $55. And traffic is nut to butt behind me. I hope that these vehicles passing me are not slow. We're up 65 right now. It looks like this box truck that passed me might be doing 65.
In 600 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
Damn it, damn it, damn it. Yeah, this box truck's going really slow, and I think it might be taking this exit. Please, no, it's not taking the exit. Why are you going 60 miles an hour, dumbass? You're swerving all over the road. This idiot flew by me. And now he's slowing down to like 55 miles an hour. And I'm jammed into this lane. I've got cars stacked alongside me. All right, let's see if we can get up to 70 and get around this damn box truck. Come on, four-wheelers. Oh, there goes the box truck. It had its signal on for a right turn forever, and then when it actually makes a right turn, it doesn't have its signal on. All right, we're finally up to speed, doing 70. And let me grab my tropical punch. It should be nice and cold and full. What the hell's going on with these cars in front of me? They all just stacked in together and slowed down. People will drive so aggressive to get in front of me, and then once they get in front of me, they're like, "Oh, all right, we'll just stroll now." I've got a line of cars in the left lane as far as I can see behind me. Yeah, come on, pull over in front of me. That's what that space is for. It's for you. You can Sunday stroll in front of me. Got this jackass just yo-yoing in front of me now in that little space that I had. There's an opening for them. Maybe they'll get back over in the left lane. Nope. Yay! They're exiting. You know, you could have gotten in behind me, four-wheeler, instead of in front of me. There's a lot of room behind me. There wasn't very much in front of me. No, I'm not going to slam on my brakes for you. Figure your shit out. Traffic will hopefully die down here before long as we get further away from New Orleans, but then we're going to start getting close to Jackson, and then it'll start building back up again. Let's see, 118 miles to Jackson. So let's do an update of how I feel about the dedicated run so far. So far, it's been a little frustrating. The pay is good. But sitting around waiting on loads, waiting on trailers, waiting to be dispatched, and then receiving little to no information as to what I'm doing at any of these shippers or receivers, all of that is a bit annoying. And then all the people that I have to keep updated with information, a little bit annoying. So I'm hoping that over time I start going to the same places repeatedly, because I'm just having to learn the system. Whenever I get there, I'm just having to walk up to random people and be like, where do I check in at? Because like at the Tokai place I was just at in Addis, Louisiana, there are absolutely no signs about truck entrance or shipping and receiving check-in here or anything like that. I think that they only work with certain companies, dedicated drivers, and so they just don't have signage out to tell drivers where to go. I think the expectation is that your company will tell you where to go. So I just had to figure it out when I got there because nobody told me and there were no signs. So as I learn the system, I learn what to expect, what, I'm being told it's BS. Everything should start to work out a little bit smoother. Now I know that whenever I get to Addis, I just go in, write down my information on their little board, and then I go to my truck and go to sleep, and they'll call me whenever the trailer's ready. And they don't start working until like 6 a.m. And it takes them around 6 or 7 hours to load a trailer. So now I know if I show up there and a trailer's not ready for me, that it's going to be a minimum of like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon until the trailer's ready. Okay, we got somebody, looks like they just pulled over to the shoulder. Maybe, maybe not. I thought I saw him pull over to the shoulder. This car in front of me's just got too much open road. It's slowed down. It needs some competition to get it to speed up. SUV is racing to get in front of me. When people race to get in front of me, all they manage to do is get right alongside me on the on-ramp.
There are police reported ahead.
All right, what's this jackass's problem? The asshole that tried to race me up the on-ramp, then they sped up to like 80 miles an hour to fly past me and then cut over in front of me and slowed down. I don't know what in the hell they're trying to prove. Alright. I guess in Louisiana they don't have a law that you have to move over for like construction and emergency vehicles with flashing lights.
There's an object on road ahead.
There's an object on road ahead, it says Google. I'm looking for it. Alright, looks like we got somebody else on the shoulder. I might as well just live in the fucking left lane, man. There's just constant people on the shoulder. I need to get on nighttime driving. Let's try and figure something out. Let's figure out how many miles I've driven since I left the house. How many miles per day I've been averaging. Ugh. Because I've been running pretty much flat to the board since I left the house, aside from being stuck in the shop for like 8 or 9 hours. But honestly, that didn't slow me down very much. I used that as a sleeper break. So let's see what I've been averaging. So drove 90 miles to pick up my first empty trailer. That was not part of my payment. And then I got paid 728 miles to drive from Lawton, Oklahoma to Borger, Texas to Texarkana, Arkansas. So that's 90 plus 728. It's like 820 miles. And I did that Thursday and Friday. What do we got on the shoulder? Is that a four-wheeler? I'm not moving over for this jackass. That is illegal as hell. Driving a damn four-wheeler down the shoulder of the interstate going the wrong direction. Fucking welcome to Louisiana. I don't know. I've seen packs of dirt bikes riding down the median of the interstate in is that another four-wheeler over on the over on the other side of the interstate? There's another four-wheeler driving down the shoulder. But yeah, one of the times, I forget which interstate it was, I was driving through Missouri. I think it was Interstate 49, south of Kansas City. Can't remember for sure, though. But there were like a whole bunch of people on dirt bikes riding down the shoulder, and I think there were some in the median of the interstate. So anyway, 820 miles roughly, and that was across Thursday and Friday. And then Friday I picked up a load in Texarkana to go to Morrison. and I only drove like 50 miles on that load, and then I took a 10-hour break. But the mileage to Morrison was like 520 miles. So 820 plus 520, that's 1340, right? 1340 plus 600 from Morrison to Addis, that's 1940. And then another 600 from Addis to Mount Vernon, where I'm headed right now. That's roughly 2540. We'll round up to 2,600 miles because I'm using short miles because the agent has not been giving me the billed mileage. So I've been using like short miles to, calculate how many miles. You know what I can do to figure out the mileage is I can divide the line haul by the mile rate of 240, and I'll know what mileage they're using going forward. And then I can calculate that against the fuel surcharge to see if it's accurate. I was thinking about telling the agent to include the billed mileage in the email he sends me, but I can get it from the line haul. So anyway, it's around 2,600 miles, and that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So over the course of 5 days, 2,600 miles, I've been averaging a little over 500 miles per day. That sucks. I mean, it's not terrible, but it really pisses me off because that is completely unnecessary. It's just been due to delays, me just sitting around for hours waiting on trailers. It's supposed to be drop and hook, and I'm sitting around for several hours getting loaded. And sometimes several hours waiting for an empty. I've probably wasted, oh my goodness, the weigh station is collapsed.
There are police reported ahead.
The weigh station building, like half of it was collapsed. Holy crap. 313 miles until I get to the TA Petro. I might not be taking a shower today. Because I thought I was gonna roll in there in the daytime when I could easily find a parking spot. But that place is extremely busy. Even in the middle of the day, the parking lot doesn't usually clear out. Got Prime Incorporated coming up the on-ramp. Looks like I'm going to make it past the on-ramp by the time they get there. You know, that's something I've thought about doing. You know, all right, let's topic. Giving up being an owner-operator and becoming a company driver. I've thought about doing it. Oh. And I don't know, I'd probably start out by trying to get on with like really good company jobs. Like UPS. I don't think it would be too difficult for me to get a line haul job. With just about any line haul company. Except UPS. UPS is hard to get on with. It's just, there's so many people that apply. It's extremely competitive. And I think UPS prioritizes hiring from within. So, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with it, but I've heard, and it's changed over time, but I've heard that you really, like, it's very, very rare that they hire someone in straight into, like, a truck driving position. You usually have to work your way up to a truck driving position. So if you want to be a UPS truck driver, you have to be like a part-time worker, then a delivery driver, and then this, and then that. And you eventually make your way up to a truck driver. But something else I've thought of is maybe not necessarily being a company driver, but an owner-operator with, like, Prime Incorporated to get a brand new truck. Everyone that I've ever talked with that has ever worked for Prime has had nothing but good things to say about Prime. Except there was some guy that I followed on YouTube, and he never said what company he got fired from, but from everything he described, I'm like 99% sure it was Prime. But basically at the end of his training phase, where he was supposed to upgrade to being like a solo driver. Oh, we're about to go into Mississippi. when he was about to upgrade to being a solo driver, they did a review on him, and they told him that they were not going to upgrade him to a solo driver. They would give him
Welcome to Mississippi.
one more chance to repeat training. He basically do the entire training over again. They were going to give him one more shot. And he said, hell no. He wasn't repeating training again. Either upgrade me or I'm quitting. Son of a bitch, weigh station's open. And I gotta pull in unless closed.
In a quarter mile, merge onto I-55 North.
Curious as to what my weight is. I hope they have a little sign up there that tells me what the weight is. Well, I guess nobody's working. Sign just says exit. They've got it set to exit on everyone. Looks like they're out there writing somebody a whole bunch of tickets. And they didn't have the weight thing on there. So I wasn't able to see what my weight is. I don't know why they didn't just like close the weigh station, put everybody on bypass, instead of making everybody roll across the scale unnecessarily. Now I gotta spend 5 minutes getting back up to speed. Anyway, what in the hell were we talking about? Oh, company driver. So yeah, everybody I've ever talked to that worked at Prime has nothing but good things to say. Yeah, there was that one guy that he basically said that he wasn't going to repeat training, and then he went to Maverick. But the reason that Prime was going to make him repeat training was because he had too many incidents. Like, Prime has sensors all over the truck, so if you take a turn too sharp, you hit your brakes too hard, it triggers alarms and alerts. Got a UPS coming up the on-ramp. And he had too many of those during his training. And normally they would just tell him goodbye, but they were going to give him a second chance. Like, they were, the way they saw it, they were doing the guy a favor. The way he saw it was he was going to have to spend like 3 or 6 months, however long their training is, redoing training, and he didn't want to deal with that. And I think he also got into an accident or two, some minor accidents while he was in training. So he's lucky that they were giving him a second chance, because Prime is really strict. So he went to Maverick, and then he got into a major accident at Maverick, and nobody would hire him except Western Express. And then he got into a major accident at Western Express, and then he quit trucking. And then he came back to trucking, and he was working for one of those Chicago Eastern European companies that duct tapes their company information to the door. And that's the last time I saw him upload a YouTube video. It's been like a couple of years, I think, since I've seen him upload a YouTube video. But he's the only person I've ever heard say anything negative about Prime. When I worked for Conway 20 years ago, there was another driver that started around the same time as me, named Ivan. And Ivan came from Prime. Like, he started trucking at Prime. He drove there for a while, and then he got on at Conway as a line haul driver. Really good driver, really good guy. And he was always saying positive stuff about Prime all the time, talking about how awesome Prime was. And here we go, passing Prime again. Prime has got the window down, smoking. I can't stand driving these trucks with the windows down. There's nobody behind me for a ways, and this four-wheeler is going slow. What is this four-wheeler going to do? Looks like they're going to keep going slow. So yeah, I've thought about like leasing on to Prime just to do a lease purchase. I would have to rerun the numbers on Prime's lease purchase deal, but the last time I ran the numbers on Prime's lease purchase, it was a damn good deal. I can't remember the numbers, but it was something in the ballpark of, like, the truck that you were buying was retail price around like 150 to 100, I think it was around $150,000. And then spec'd out the way that they had it spec'd out with all the radar equipment and the, the cattle bumper and all the extras. The automatic braking system, all that shit. Like, to have all of that stuff added, it would bring the cost of the truck up to like $170,000 or something. And then you're getting an APU as well. That's like 12 grand. So you're up at like $182,000 with just that stuff. And the total amount for the entire lease to purchase that truck back then was like $190,000 something dollars. It's like $195,000 was going to be your total amount of money that you paid for the truck. That is an amazing deal because you're not going to have to pay, sales tax and the federal excise tax or whatever it is. Like, you're talking about, like, probably, I don't know what those taxes are, somewhere in the area of easily 15% in taxes. So that's like an extra, like, $20,000 to $30,000 in just taxes. And then if you were to get a conventional loan on all that, at a 5-6% interest rate, like, you could easily end up spending $220,000 or more if you were to just purchase all of that stuff yourself. So I thought Prime's, I can't remember all the numbers off the top of my head. It was a long time ago that I ran the numbers on that stuff. It was like before I got into trucking, because I was considering like getting on with Prime. I was trying to figure out what to do. And even though I thought Prime's lease purchase was a good deal, it just, buying a used truck and getting on with Landstar, I would make a lot more money, and that would make up for like the good deal that I got driving for doing the lease purchase with Prime. Just because Prime's like rates, the freight rates that they paid for loads were not very good. People, I can't remember what it was, but there were some people that were uploading their settlements every week, and there were other people that would occasionally upload their settlements or give the details about what they were paying. And I just kind of put all that information together, and I can't remember exactly what it came out to, but it was somewhere in the ballpark of like $1.75, $1.85 a mile is what most people were getting gross to the truck at Prime, was something like $1.85 a mile. And that's with reefer freight, refrigerated freight, which normally pays higher than van freight. So Prime was hauling really cheap freight. Wide loads must exit now at 15 feet max. See that yield sign car? The car saw that left lane closed ahead. And all these four-wheelers floored it. Now they're trying to get around all the trucks before the left lane closes. This truck in front of me looks like it's probably part of the construction. So it's probably going to turn into the construction area. So I'm going to have to maintain some following distance on it. Looks like it's missing all of its mud flaps. Hope it doesn't break my damn windshield. Alright, speed limit's dropping down to 60. Alright, they just went hard on their brakes in front of me. Now they let off of them. Just watching for them to see if they're going to turn somewhere into the construction area. We're down to 50 and still braking. $45. But I doubt that I would do the, prime lease purchase because it's so incredibly risky. Like, let's say it's a 3-year lease purchase. You could get into like the last month of the lease purchase and then prime terminates you and you're screwed. All that money you paid for that truck is now just gone.
There's construction ahead.
And in order to pay that lease, man, you're talking about 3 years of running your ass off, 3 years of running hard. Because you're going to have huge weekly payments. Great. Right when we're starting to go up a hill, I catch up with this slow ass car. It's a short hill. I don't know why this car is going so damn slow. Oh, now the car is speeding up. The car was going below 65, and I'm doing 68, and it's going faster than me now. I can't stand people who do this shit. Just try to keep you from passing them. So I've got cars catching up with me. This asshole's hanging me out in the left lane. Alright, so I'm just going to pass. We're going to get around. I'm going to speed up to 75. The speed limit's 70. So I'm just going to speed. Because they want to play games. Left lane closed in 1 mile. Awesome. This jackass is not slowing down. Speed limit dropped to 60, and he's just staying up there trying to keep me from passing. I'm going to cut him off because he's just being an asshole. Speed limit dropped down to 60, and he is just hammered down at 70 miles an hour, trying to keep me from getting around him before the lane ends. He's treating me like I knew the lane was ending and I was passing him or some shit. Can't believe how aggressive people are. And now he's slowed down to 60. Once I got back over in the right lane, he slowed down to 60. These cars are slowing way down. If they wanted us to go 40, the speed limit would be 40. Yeah, pull out in front of the truck. That's the vehicle that I would pull out in front of. These jackasses have these cones set out way in the road, and then you have to whip over to avoid hitting the bridge. So even though it's something that I've thought about, highly unlikely I would ever do it. Honestly, I don't know if I'm ever going to buy another truck. I don't know if I'm going to stay in the industry that long. I think I'm just going to ride this one for, till it falls apart. Maybe I might buy another used truck if I can find one that's a good deal. Probably just pay cash for it like I did on this one. I don't know. This job is pretty awesome as long as you're making good money at it. If you're not getting paid very well, this job sucks. But if you're making decent money, this is a pretty awesome job. Just think about it. Like, I'm able to just sit here and just kind of daydream throughout my entire, work. And what do I do when I'm not working? I typically just scroll through YouTube and play video games. So I can't play video games while I'm driving, but I can listen to podcasts and stuff. That's, basically what I do in my free time. So I'm getting paid to, if I'm not making a YouTube video, then I'll usually have like a podcast playing, or I'll be listening to music or something. Which is pretty much what I do in my free time. And I don't have a lot of the drama that people have at work. Yeah, I have quite a bit of drama that I deal with, but oh my God, I hated my last job. Just constantly so I had customers that would be asking for help. So I had customers asking for help all the time, like all day long. I got people asking for help, and I'm having to help them. That's my job. And then I've got coworkers and managers and team leads that are trying to micromanage me. All the time and trying to feel important. And it's just constant drama all day long. I would rather deal with the drama that I deal with in trucking than deal with the drama of an office job. Man, what is with all the trees? Tons of downed trees. Looks like a tornado went through here. Because all the trees are like, look like they've been torn down, not cut down. Holy shit. Just blew another fucking drive tire. Oh my God. So there's an exit not too far up. I've got to look and see how far to the next shop, because I'm not paying for a fucking road call. It'll cost me $500 to get this damn thing replaced in a shop. It'll cost me like $1,000 to $1,500 to get a road call done on it. Why in the hell do the tires keep blowing up? This is one of the reasons I don't typically haul max weight loads. Everything is much more likely to fail whenever you're dealing with heavy loads. Great, the next exit is a highway.
In 800 feet, slide left onto the US 84 West ramp to Meadville.
Alright, let's try to find a spot to pull over here. There's some nasty potholes on this
Slide
shoulder.
left onto the US 84 West ramp. Then at the next stop sign, you'll turn right.
Alright, let me get out and see what the damage is. I can see the tire over here. It's my left rear outer. Well, it looks like the mud flap is reusable. Now let's check and see where the nearest truck stop is at. I just passed a TA and I think a Love's not too far back, so it's 54 miles to Jackson. Hello, my name is Daniel. Do you change tires on trucks? All right, sorry, I paused it while I was talking with him. There is a place right here at this exit, just over to the left.
Head northwest, then slide left onto the US 84.
And hopefully they don't charge any ridiculous prices.
Slide left onto the US 84 West ramp. Then you'll turn left onto US 84 West.
Now we'll see if we can ever make this left-hand turn. There's just a line of traffic coming from both directions. I've got an opening on the left, but no opening on the right. All right, it looks like I have an opening on the right. Son of a biscuit.
At the stop sign, turn left onto US 84 West.
All right, we're good.
Slide left.
All right, I don't want to just like randomly drive around here, so I'm just going to park right here and figure out where in the hell I need to go. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, they're getting me in right now. The total price for tire, everything is $371. So a lot cheaper than Love's. Love's was $509, not including tax. So it was probably closer to $550, $560 at Love's. So it's a couple $100 cheaper than here. And they get me right in. The little spot they had me pull into, though, is extremely tight. I'm hitting shit on both sides. But they're really cool. Got me right in. $371 for some Synergy tire. But they're going to get it slapped on there right now. So I'm going to turn the truck off and end the video because it's going to get hot in here. So I'm going to stand outside. So I'll do a second driving video once I get rolling. So anyway, thanks. Bye.